They're also sending it to a bunch of old school Italians.
Yeah.
What do they think they're going to say?
This is my guy.
Finally, our pizza.
This was a major blue chip sponsor, the one that sent.
So these are the sponsors, not the actual kid.
Yes, but they did it to everybody.
Yeah.
So and she put her number to call back on. So that was sent to me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to call this woman and see what the deal is.
Bro, watching her melt.
So I called her, and the call went as bad, really, for her as it possibly could, because right off the bat, I'm like, why are you sending this email saying I'm the M word and because I can't pronounce it and racist? And she's like, I didn't do that. Like, I haven't done that. It's like, well, let me read you the email. I read her the email. She's like, oh, I just did that once. I'm like, that's weird. You just said you didn't do it. And I just read it to you. And then the conversation continued. I'm like, do you know anything about me? She's like, no. I'm like, well, then how could you send this email if you don't know anything about me? She's like, well, we're going to talk to you later, which they weren't. And continued on. She's
and
like,
then the journalistic tactic,
right.
that was...
She said, we only send something negative to try to get people to engage. It's a journalistic tactic. I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit.
So it's almost as if she's admitting that her form of journalism is to manipulate the person she's interviewing to satisfy the angle of the article.
Totally.
Which is no integrity in the journalism. It's, I'm gonna prompt you so that you react to this prompt so I can take that one soundbite and be like, yes, we are aware that he does this stuff and we really questioned it, but maybe for the greater good, we thought it was okay. So now she's confirming who it is. But on the phone, I couldn't believe she said it.
Me neither.
She was just like, oh yeah, we fake stories.
Yeah.
That's the kind of way that I interpret it.
Clickbait is most journalism.
Bro,
100%.
and I wonder if they have to compete with YouTube now. I wonder if journalists are like the only way that they can get people to watch their video reports or even read their essays is that if they compete with the clickbait of YouTube.
It's all clickbait. And then she also did something which has been almost my biggest complaint. There's so many hit pieces, they're all the same shit. The hit piece reads the other hit piece and prints it as though it is fact.
Yeah.
And how would anybody actually know if it's true or not? Because they haven't done the research to dig into. It's like I've offered to everybody, sit down, I'm an open book, put a camera, I will go through every point, and an open mind at the end is gonna be like, this is garbage. How has this ever been printed about him?
Yeah.
But she said, I'll sit down with you at 10 a.m. Then she picked the time. She's like, 10 a.m. I agreed to it, knowing the piece was already written. And then they canceled that. And they're like, we wanna move it to 5 p.m. Well, the article has to come out in like 5 minutes.
So
why would I agree to that?
Yeah, I didn't understand the angle right there, but I guess it's, they wanted the call with you after the article would already be printed.
Yes, so
and you were trying to beat the article so that you could at least get a fair shake.
And by the way, journalists, that's the thing. They don't want the fair shake because it puts them at risk. If you're printing something, you can always plead ignorance. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You can't say that if you've spoken with me and I've basically given you facts and proof and evidence that contradicts what you're writing.
Okay.
So that's why they don't want the subject.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second because this episode is sponsored by SeatGeek, okay? If you need to get some tickets to, I don't know, for example, your boys shows up in Toronto this coming weekend, Scotiabank Arena. Both of them sold out, but you could go grab some tickets over there at SeatGeek. If there's any event that you want to go to and you can't get tickets, you use SeatGeek, and SeatGeek has your back. How do they have your back? Well, they will tell you if that price for the ticket is a good deal or a bad deal. Just look at those dots. That green dot is go, that red dot is, hey, hold on, you better really want to go to this because you're getting bullied a little bit on the price. So what I'm telling you right now is SeatGeek is the place that we go when we're trying to get tickets for those events that we cannot get tickets for. And right now, all you have to do, if you're a flagrant supporter, is you download the SeatGeek app and you make sure that you use our code FLAGRANT and you're getting $20 off at SeatGeek. So think about that. You get a $20 better ticket. You get a little closer to the action. Maybe you get to bring a friend, you both split it, whatever it is, you get $20 off, have a little bit more enjoyment in that event. Take that $20 off and you know what? Go buy some beers, maybe one single beer. Whatever it is, you got it with the $20. So go get SeatGeek and make sure you use that code FLAGRANT. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, guys, stop everything because our friends at Freeze Pipe just launched a bunch of new products and you need to know about them. First of all, if you want the coolest, smoothest, way to smoke, and I don't just mean cool like it's cool. I mean cool like that burning lung feeling that most of us hate when we smoke weed, and even though I don't smoke often, I fucking hate those burning lungs. Freeze Pipe takes care of that. And they have a newly released mini bong and tornado bong that are priced very affordably and punch well above their weight class. So if you want to do that, or if you prefer smoking out of joints, blunts, vapes, whatever, Freeze Pipe's new glycerin blunt tip brings that much needed icy glycerin coldness to smoke in any kind of joint, blunt, or vape. So shop for the smoothest pipes, the coldest bongs, whatever you need to do at thefreezepipe.com. That is thefreezepipe.com. And if you use the code FLAGRANT, you get 15% off your entire order. That's what we do. So again, that is thefreezepipe.com. Use the code FLAGRANT for 15% off. Shop today and start fighting fire with ice. Game of Thrones type shit. Now let's get back to the show.
You own a media company. How do you instill the journalistic practices that you want with your employees?
Yeah, so we don't do that type of gotcha, catcha
Yeah.
journalism. But having said that,
Would you push back if you felt like there